This is Modern Service Mastery, business school with boots on. Real lessons, real talk, and real growth for the residential service industry. Let's get to work.
All right, today we're talking about something that quietly drains more money from contractors than just about anything else, ghost tools. Jake, you ever have a tool just vanish into thin air?
Listen, I swear, there's a Bermuda Triangle in every shop. Last month, my crew spent almost a week looking for a laser level. We tore apart 3 trucks, checked every job site, even called a guy who quit 2 months ago. Turns out, it was under a pile of tarps in the irrigation shed. Classic ghost tool move.
That's the thing, these ghost tools, they're technically on the books, but nobody's seen them in weeks. And it's not just the hassle. According to Tool Watch, small tool loss can cost up to $2,500 per tech per year. Multiply that by a crew of 10, and you're looking at $25,000 just poof, gone. And that's conservative.
Yeah, and it's not just the money, right? It's the time. You start your day late because you're hunting for a plate compactor or a demo hammer, and suddenly you're behind before you even get rolling. I mean, I've seen crews lose an hour just looking for a charger. That's a whole job over a month, easy.
Exactly. And here's a stat that'll make you sweat. Construction companies only use their heavy equipment about 55 to 65% of the time it's on site. That means a third of your gear is just sitting there, burning a hole in your budget. Idle tools, missing tools, it all adds up.
And let's be real, nobody wants to be the person who has to call the office and say, hey, we can't start because we lost the saw again. It's embarrassing. But it happens way more than people admit. I mean, I've been there. I've blamed the new guy, blamed the weather, blamed the truck, but really, it's just a system problem.
That's it. It's not about yelling or pointing fingers. It's about building what I call field intelligence. Knowing where your stuff is, how long it's used, and who's responsible. If you don't have that, your business is bleeding money. Right now, not someday. And it's not just landscaping. This is true for HVAC, pest control, roofing, remodeling, you name it.
Yeah, if you work in residential service, you know the pain. So, what's the real-world impact? Lost tools, late starts, wasted hours, and a crew that's frustrated before they even clock in. That's why we got to talk about systems that actually work.
So, let's talk about something so basic it gets overlooked in most shops, sheds, and trailers. Putting things back where they belong. I'm not talking about being tidy for tidy's sake. I'm talking about saving hours, avoiding stress, and actually making your crew feel like professionals.
Yeah, man, I call it the tailgate trap. You ever walk by a blower, a hammer drill, a bucket of bits just chilling in the back of the truck like they're waiting for an Uber? That's how tools vanish. Not stolen, just evaporated.
Exactly, and here's the truth. You can't return something if it doesn't have a home. That's the first rule. If your truck or shop doesn't have clear labeled spots for each tool, then you're setting your team up to fail.
Yep, that's why I love what I saw on a crew last month. They had these plastic bins labeled in giant Sharpie, wrenches, grinders, blades. I asked the crew leader about it, and he goes, look, man, if it don't have a bin, it don't belong in the trailer.
Exactly. So let's break it down. Here's the system. Step 1. Assign a home for every tool. Crates, hooks, bins, whatever works. Step 2. Label it. Big, clear, idiot-proof. Step 3. Make return time part of your daily rhythm.
Say it louder, Mike. Returned, not dumped, not I'll get it later. That's the lie we all tell ourselves. Later leads to lost.
Yes, returned. And the best part? Crews actually like it when the system makes sense. Nobody wants to be chasing ghost drills or digging under tarps. They just want to work and go home. You got to show them the benefits of a system.
If it doesn't have a spot, it'll start to rot. Seriously, though, this system works because it's simple. It's like what Marie Kondo and those organizing folks always say. It's not about cleaning. It's about eliminating decision fatigue.
And once everything is organized, we need to make sure everything is working. This is where the ribbon system comes in. It's simple, visual, and it makes everything clear. Jake, break it down for him.
Right, here's how it works. No ribbon means ready to go. That's the standard. Fueled, functional, checked. If you can't get it there by the end of the day, tag it yellow. That means something's off. And you better fill out the equipment repair request form so everyone's looped in. If it's red, it's out. Waiting on the shop. It doesn't leave the shop zone until it's cleared. We keep rolls of yellow and red flagging tape on the trucks and in the employee room. Simple.
And effective.
Yep. So, which system is right for your crew? Honestly, the best one is the one you'll actually use, but the real magic is in the daily habits. Look, tag, return. If you do that every day, you'll cut downtime, build momentum, and start to see real change.
And that's how you start building a culture where everyone owns their tools. It's not just the manager or crew leader's job. When the whole team's involved, you get less finger pointing and more pride, and that's what sets the best crews apart.
Alright, let's talk about what happens when you actually stick with these systems. First off, morale goes up. When tracking is transparent, not about blame, but about clarity, people feel empowered. There's a stat I love. Companies that track usage openly see a 16% jump in reported tool damage before it causes delays. That's huge.
Yeah, and it's because people aren't afraid to say, hey, this needs a fix. They know they won't get chewed out. They'll get support. That's how you build accountability.
That's what I'm talking about. When you make it a team thing, people start to care. And it's not just about tools. It's about building habits that make your company unstoppable. You start with tracking, but it turns into a culture of ownership and improvement.
So, how do crew leaders create that culture? It starts with modeling the habits yourself. Do the look tag return routine. Celebrate the wins, like finding a ghost tool or keeping everything ready to go or tagged for repairs or maintenance. And make it fun. A little friendly competition goes a long way.
And don't forget, it's not just for landscaping. If you're in windows, roofing, concrete, HVAC, plumbing, kitchen and bath, pest control, any residential service, these habits work. The systems might look a little different, but the principles are the same. Own your work, respect the craft, support your team, and keep it professional.
All right, before we wrap up, here's your action item. Pick one thing you can do tomorrow. Use the tags and the repair form. Label a home of every tool and piece of equipment, whatever fits your crew. And share your wins in the community. Post a photo of your system, tell us about a tool you brought back from the dead, or drop your best tip for keeping gear in play. Every time you share, you help someone else level up, and you prove we're building this thing together.
Yeah, don't just listen. Do the action items. That's what makes it stick in the real world. We want you to be the best, and that means taking action, not just talking about it. And hey, if you've got a funny story about a ghost tool or a color tag showdown, drop it in the comments. We all learn from each other.
All right, that's it for today. Track what matters, fix what's missing, and build the habits that make your company unstoppable. Jake, always a pleasure, my friend.
You too, Mike. Lead your team, set the pace, and get the job done right.
Thanks for listening to Modern Service Mastery Business School with Boots On. If this episode helped you lead, grow, or think differently, share it with your crew and keep the momentum going.